kind of go-yard bandana.
You're tuned in to Madden 19, Thunderbirds. I'll be back on Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. The London Monarchs and the Toronto Thunderbirds. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they get a stern road test as they come into this one after getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Flush to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Off-play action. Mason. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the defense. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. And now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Green,
Now they'll
39.
switch it up here and look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. In for the score. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40 offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And this one is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On third down, Mason. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. That time, a 9-play drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 66 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route of 3 to 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Set! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finds a seam inside the 40. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 1 quarter down. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Set. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go. Green.
Looking to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far, as we see here on your screen.
They may have to drop coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Mason. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
I have to believe that if you're the team trying to block a field goal, you don't mind this weather. All right, the rain probably is going to help you because so many things can go wrong for the guys trying to kick the ball. It's as simple as maybe you just lose your footing. You kind of spin out like a tire in the snow, not getting traction, and you create a space and someone comes through.
And I think for everybody, snapper, holder, kicker, everything slows down maybe a fraction of a second. And a fraction of a second and a field goal try, that can be all the different.
I love how you described that. Everything slows down, but it's a deliberate slowdown, isn't it? Because everyone's trying to be more careful and more deliberate to make sure it's executed.
Going up top. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on 3rd down. Mason. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green,
Off the play fake. Mason. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Now pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. They'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Set. 3-19.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Now back to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. Headed second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. The Pats still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to, but when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
This offense so far on third down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.